It's fine.
I mean, it's just you and me.
Yeah. I'm here. Hold my hand. We'll get through this.
Bruh.
Also, I was gonna say when I was watching last session, I was like, you said an elf and an orc, and I know this isn't part of your lore, but in the Forgotten Realms, those races are the only ones that are magically prevented from breeding because their gods fucking hate each other. So I was like, my entire time I'm thinking, it was like, wow, that's perfect for Romeo and Juliet. It's not their families that have a problem. The literal fucking gods oppose their union. So, yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. If I was there, I would have said that, and it would have been funny, but that would have been an R. That would have been an R-rated play because the thing is that the gods prevent them from producing offspring together.
For reasons.
They have a domestic fights. Like, well, maybe the reason we fight is because your dick don't work, bitch. It's not my fault. Grumsh prevents it. I know that Grumsh is a completely different setting, but. Ah, yes. Modern Shakespeare, just as vulgar as the original. It's just not in fancy language. Art thou wast ready?
I have already started the stream.
Well, you're welcome. No one's watching.
Yeah,
just pretend like they're all naked, because they're not there.
Just pretend that it's a bunch of ghosts watching us. Imagine we're just an empty theater with ghosts. Haunted theater.
All right. Well, so this is never a thing that we've actually brought up. Is there like guards stationed at the walls around Almor?
Don't think we have brought that up before, but I imagine so.
Because I imagine it's not like that difficult for people to
clearly,
like the party wouldn't really face any restrictions, so there's never been like a reason to bring it up. But
clearly bandits
there likely
are a
would
pretty
be
big issue.
Yeah. So they would probably like check like who you is and record that you've been there.
Who are you?
Who are you? And they'd probably write it down and record it, and that would be kept track of.
I am Bumbler from Tumblr.
So this is why Roy arrived in Almor after the party, because he doesn't want that shit to be recorded.
Hi, Cake. Welcome to special spoiler territory as to what Roy is up to. And man, am I nervous, because literally don't even have anything planned. But we'll see.
All right, focus, nerd. Yeah. All right, so I didn't follow the path.
What's Roy been up to?
Well, obviously, so that no one encountered me, I didn't follow the path. How high is the pile of corpses of wild animals that have attacked me that I've left behind as I trudged through the woods?
Let me roll like 2d20 and we'll see.
How many wolves did I have to execute to get
19.
here?
19
All
wolves.
right.
You executed 19 wild animals that just seem to be against you.
Fair enough. I expected this to be the case. I camped in the canopy by setting up hammocks using rope each night. Fucking monkeys. I wake up one day with fucking monkeys. I have to make a net each night now to go over the top of the hammock.
Now I'm just imagining.
It's rough out here.
I'm just imagining that like the monkeys, like as you're sleeping, they just spin you in the hammock.
No. I like the first night they're a pain in the ass. The second night, my homunculus servant snipes them throughout the night. I wake up to a pile of dead monkeys.
Oh, jeez.
Saying.
Curious George took a dark turn there. uh,
Don't fuck with the man sleeping in a tree.
yeah, fair.
So I'm assuming during the day I eventually come across the outer walls that surround Almor. How high are these walls?
You would be correct, and slightly shorter than the tallest buildings. Which tallest buildings would probably be like 2 stories tall.
Oh, easy. How far away are the walls from the city? Like, because we've been there before, I would know. On the other side, is there just more fields before the town, or is it the town? The town itself, like the city, is actually like a walled city, and this isn't like, you know,
I'd imagine that the
like
wall is a pretty large thing. Like you pass through it, and then there's just
like. But what I'm getting at is like, how close is the wall to the city?
the city. There's probably farmland between you and the city.
Okay, so that means that I'm probably not. I'm pretty really far enough away to where it's hard to make out me. So I'm assuming I arrive sometime during the day. Are there patrols of guards that would see me if I tried to get over this wall?
How far are you from like the main gate or one of the main gates?
I trudged through the woods instead of going on the main path. So how far did I veer off?
Good 20 feet or so from the main
20
path.
feet. Man, I would have literally seen the party as they passed. Like, I was expecting like half a mile.
Probably around half a mile, actually. I don't do distance very well.
You don't do distance. That's fair. All right. Well, so this begs the question again. The guards, are there guards stationed so that they can see the walls, or do they just assume the walls are big enough to protect them against
As
beasties?
you as you're standing in the woods, you see a single guard pass by, look around, and then continue on his path around. Probably on horseback.
Okay, so it'll be several, probably like half an hour before someone else passes by. All right, I'll wait for him to get far enough away to where I think he wouldn't notice me. And I'm going to, because I'm going to need a lot of time for this, because my steel defender, I'm going to take my grappling hook, and I'm assuming, since you said it's about
2 stories.
a little bit shorter than the tallest building.
Yeah, a little shorter.
My grappling hook
2 stories.
should reach that, because I believe it's half the distance that it can reach, and it's 80 feet.
Yeah.
So 40 feet should be enough to reach the top. So I'm going to grapple hook up to it myself, and then I will lower. Once I've affixed it more sturdily, I will lower the rope down for my steel defender. Does he have to make an athletics check to climb up? I'm strapped in. He's not.
Yeah, let's have him roll an athletics check to see if your steel defender falls on his butt.
He does not have. He does have athletics. All right, how about he fuck up? No, he's God. He throws the rope. He throws the rope aside and literally just digs his fingertips into the gaps in the stone and just climbs up like it's a ladder.
No, I'm not imagining that. Like, as soon as I saw the 25, I immediately imagined friggin' Wallace and Gromit, those pants. Do you know the things I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
They're like pants that have plungers at the feet of them, and he just climbs up the wall accidentally.
He just walks up?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But your thing is much smarter.
Yeah, he just digs his fingers into the gaps and just pulls him. He just climbs up with no effort. That's gonna leave a mark, but no one looks that close. So
And if anything, you could just like mend it from the other side.
Yeah, well, the wall's way too thick for that. A wall this high would have to be like 10, 15 feet deep.
Fair enough.
So I will very promptly rappel down the other side, and
And
my
then your
steel
steel
defender
defender
will just jump off and fall to the ground.
It lands on its feet with a clunk.
And several stress fractures in the metal.
Great, I'm gonna fix those.
I will mend that as I walk once I get out of sight. But I wanna clear the area quickly. Oh, I should say what spells I have. I have Disguise Self in my spell storing item. As a four note, because I have to prepare that at the beginning of the day, so I don't cheat.
Yes.
So this is on the record. I have that one prepared. And for infusions, I have the Force Gauntlet, the crossbow, and my Homunculus Servant.
Okay.
And the Homunculus Servant is in my sleeve, in case I need it. All right. And then I will continue trudging across farmland. Probably make my way towards the road now that I'm past the checkpoint.
Yes.
But I will do that probably a couple of fields down the way and try and scooch in when no one's looking so that they don't immediately notice that, hey, that guy didn't go through the checkpoint. Gotta make a stealth check.
It's to do what again?
Should I to not get noticed?
Yeah.
It is broad fucking daylight out.
Yeah, that is true. And you are wearing heavy clinking.
I'm at a distance. The main thing is that I'm wearing a black cloak in broad daylight against a green terrain. I don't blend
yellow
in.
With like wheat.
Yeah. Regardless, it's a big black blob. And I'm also moving with my steel defender. He should probably also make a stealth check. All right. I'm gonna roll decently well. He's going to roll like shit. The advantage and disadvantage cancel out for me. So I will just roll. Where's my stealth? What'd I get?
You supposed to have artisans?
No, I'm not. That is guidance.
Oh, that's
I didn't have guidance on.
Okay, so just a 15.
I will guide my steel defender though.
15 on yourself, and then
that's a dex check. That's not what I wanted. 13.
13.
He rolled the same for both.
And then
he has proficiency in dex save.
And you
guidance, so a D4.
Yeah, add a D4. So
15. We both roll a 15.
Yeah, you both roll 15. That's probably good enough to beat a guard's passive perception.
Yeah, I believe their passive is 11. You can check if you want.
Passive perception of 12. So yeah, you're good.
All right, sick. All right, I don't get noticed as I arrive.
Mm-hmm.
Dope. That's my main goal, is to blow up.
And act like I don't know nobody. Yeah.
Well, technically half that's true. I will make my way into town, and I will keep my eyes open for familiar faces, and I will walk the other way if I notice them. What do I see as I enter town?
You see droves of clerics going in and out of the slums.
That's sus.
Carrying out people that seem to have, like, dead worms under their skin.
Would I see that from this distance? I guess my investigation is so high that I probably would have noticed.
How high is your passive investigation, actually?
I'm sorry, Fenric, but it's 21.
Oh, yeah. You could definitely passively investigate the fact that there is definitely, like, worms peeking out of these people.
Yeah.
And the worms appear to be dead.
I will say gross. And are the people dead?
Mostly, no.
But some are.
There have been a few casualties of whatever this was.
You said there were clerics.
Yes, going in and out in droves.
What does their regalia look like?
Hmm. Well, I need to pull up my Elmorian. Well, I need to pull up my list of gods so I can see what I would imagine their tabards, well, scapulars to be like.
Scapulars, there you
Where is it? There it is. Definitely not
go.
the main
Monastic
two.
scapular.
One, there's a couple with a with the insignia of a setting sun. Some that have just like a basic tree, like spreading out.
Okay.
Don't think there'd be any of those, or those, or those.
Do I
You see
recognize any
one of a
them?
river,
Hmm.
and then you also see several with uh the insignia of Lawman, the god of war and peace.
Oh, it was
So-
either Laman or it was either War and Peace or Llamas. It was.
So I think I said it was like a blood-stained olive branch.
Hmm. Is this the same as Sorbel's?
Sorabel's is she is a peace domain cleric, so yes.
Okay. I will take note of this, and I will add it to the brain vault. Considering what's going on, I'm going to investigate more on not necessarily the plague that is clearly happening. I'm going to investigate those clerics because I am going to do a little research. So
Do a
I'm
little
going to hide my steel defender somewhere, probably in a bush.
Just like stay.
Pretty much. I'm pretty much just being like, don't move.
Totally not
Sky
weird to see a
Self-Lasts-
random armor thing sitting in a bush.
It's just a suit of armor in a bush. It'll just blend in with the pile of bodies. It was like a guard or something that got turbo myrtleized. If someone goes to investigate it closely, it'll just stand up and run away.
Fair enough.
And I will. So in this area, what are the buildings like? Are some like you said it's the slums? So like, are some of them decrepit and collapsing in,
Yeah,
or are
there's-
most of them still standing?
There's a decent number still standing, but there are some with like holes in the rooftops and all that. There are a few that are in shambles, like you don't even know how they're still standing.
Alright. Well, yeah, so is there enough space in terms of like so it is the slums. How like are the alleyways such that they're obscured? Is there like are like the alleyways messy and dark enough to where someone wouldn't notice me slink away into them? Or do people just not are just people not looking there? Like how many people are out on the street? Really?
Not many.
Okay. Can I
And-
make a stealth check to find a secluded spot
Sure.
near a building? Cool. Or would that be an investigation to find a secluded spot? Literally, one is a guaranteed success. The other one is a possible success.
Investigation is your complete success one.
100%.
Yeah, with your investigation of 21, your passive investigation, you are able to find one. It's a bit of a tight fit between the two buildings, but it's big enough that you can fit.
Okay. I am going to use my all-purpose tool. I'm going to reconfigure it so that I learn the spell Spring Heal today. I had said Spring Heal previously. I meant Quick Step. Spring Heal is the one for jumping. Quick Step's the one for running. I meant quick step last time. Spring heal is the one I want now. That increases my jump distance both vertically and horizontally by 10 feet. And I'm going to pull out my Grupple Hook again, and I'm going to fire it at the edge of one of these roofs and try to climb up on the not street-facing side of the building so that the slope of the roof blocks line of sight on me. Should I make a stealth check to not get noticed as I climb up?
Are you also climbing up with just your hands, or are you harnessed in?
I'm harnessed into the grappling hook to pull me up to the edge, and then I'm just gonna, roll over the edge to get onto the roof.
Let's roll that stealth, bud.
Okay. Stealth. Oh god, I'm really bad at that. Hey, I have advantage on that. No, because my armor is clanky, so it would be 18.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an 18.
They counter out. The cloak only gets me so far.
Yes. Until I get
mithril, I'm stuck with this with flat stealth rolls.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to stay low and continue to sneak along, and I'm going to, if need be, I will jump across the gap between buildings when I feel as though no one can see me.
So what exactly are you following? Are you following any of the clerics
I'm mostly
currently?
moving around to try and find potentially a group of those clerics that look like they're wearing Sorabel's iconography, and I'm mostly moving around trying to study what they're doing and take notes to see if I can find if some are acting different from others. Like, I'm mostly just looking at what they do with the bodies and very closely studying them to try and see if any of them are acting differently from each other.
Okay. So, here's something that I have thought of just here. There is a group of 5 people. There are 2 wearing the law and peace
regalia.
Regalia.
Yeah, there you go.
One wearing the god of water, one wearing the god of nature, and one wearing the god of twilight and
gotta avoid him. He's probably really powerful.
Yeah. I've only labeled...
Ron exists in this setting. Is it him?
He does exist in the setting, but no, it's not, because I don't
He's off killing people.
Yeah, he's absolutely off killing people. Killing mind flayers, most likely.
Yeah. Alright, what were you gonna say?
Did I label 5?
What's that?
2 for Lawman, 1 for Waka, 1 for... 1 of Gaia, and 1 of Twillin. Okay, yeah, I did label 5. Good. Good. Seems like a bit odd of a position, as they are all encircling a body.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of clerics. What do they seem to all be like on the same page, or are they deliberating over who's going to perform the last rites, like trying to figure out which god this person believed in or something?
They are 100% all on the same page.
Should I be rolling investigation for this?
You have a passive 21. I don't...
This is true.
I don't need you to roll. Though if you really wanted to, you could.
I mean, the real thing is I'm trying to avoid having to roll perception, because I'm going to fail that real bad. My perception is dog shit. I'm mostly going out of my way to be like, oh, I'm not like just looking at things. I'm looking very intently at these things to
Let's
make an
roll
investigation.
a perception check to tell if you can tell like what they're saying.
Oh, this is gonna fucking fail. All right, I will guidance myself because I'm trying to make this good, and it's a singular event, so this should apply. So guidance and then perception.
Oh,
Ooh, a grand total of 11.
11. It's kind of muddy.
Can my homunculus give me the help action?
Just like,
It's with me.
are you able to hear through your homunculus servant?
No.
No. Probably not.
Damn it! I would have totally taken that 24.
I gotta nerf you some way because
Hey, I took low perception for flavor reasons. I have my homunculus servant and my steel defender for seeing things.
but your homunculus servant and steel defender can't communicate with you.
So what you're saying is, I need to learn the spell Find Familiar.
Funny thing is,
I could do that. I could have done that from the beginning, but I'm not doing that.
probably does still have the book for it.
Yeah, but it's not available to artificers. What I would do is use a spell rot tattoo and get one. I avoided doing that from the beginning because it's kind of cheesy. I might do it in the future for just mechanic, so I have an option, but I'm not doing it right now. So
no,
yeah.
It's a bit muddy.
I don't have one, and I can't tell.
But you can hear the words "be useful."
All right. I'm gonna make a tragic mistake.
Oh no!
I'm going to get down from the roof on the opposite side.
What are you about to do?
I'm gonna disguise self.
As one of the clerics.
Hell yeah, motherfuckers! Have I seen, perchance, a cleric of Mongai?
I don't think you have, no.
Damn it.
If you had
the only person who I'd be able to actually pass myself off as a cleric. Okay, I'm going
if
to
you had
look.
been with the party and saw the information, then you would have seen somebody who's connected to either one of the spider gods.
Yeah, so, but I'm assuming that just means that there's not any in this town, which means it would be sus.
Yes, incredibly. Do you perchance decide to disguise yourself as Baron? You have seen him before.
I know Baron. I personally, as a player, 100% know how Baron acts. The problem is, I'm not trying to be Baron because they don't know who Baron is, unless he's some sort of either hero or terror to these people.
He was in this town when you guys headed out, so like.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was for good or bad.
Who knows?
So, who fucking knows? I don't know anything about Sorabel's religion. It has never come up in polite conversation. Okay. I am going to use the disguise self based on what I'm seeing, and I'm going to hope that in the moment I can roll high enough religion checks to be able to answer any questions they have, if they have any.
Everyone.
Okay.
Shush.
I'm going to.
There's somebody heading over.
Well, I'm gonna disguise self as one of the death. Not death. I appear as one of the death gods. I am Rolf now. No.
You have seen the insignia of the death god.
I have, but that would be sus to some of these people. Although it could tell me a lot. Oh, I don't have deception. Damn, if I had a really high deception, I would have totally done that now that I think about it.
Brother, what are you doing? What are you doing without your disguise?
But that would have told me so much.
Yeah.
If I can take on 5 clerics.
Can you? They do have a Twilight.
How do I?
Well, actually, no. They're technically all.
No. If they actually worship that god, they would have a Twilight domain, and that guy would probably be on my side. Potentially, unless they were gonna play the this is a fuckboy trick. Hold on. I don't have my Steel Defender with me. How far away is it? Actually, I'm gonna send my Homunculus Servant before I walk out. I'm gonna send my Homunculus Servant to get my Steel Defender to start coming this direction.
Just in case something bad happens.
Just in case. They're gonna stay just on the outskirts of that building, watching in case something goes. And my Steel Defender has a 40-foot movement, so he should be able to get in like maybe 1 round if he dashes. So if I need him, he will be within range, but I will approach them as... Oh man, that really does make me want to approach as a Death God one and just... I'm assuming no cleric in this town that I've seen so far actually has the regalia of Rolf.
No.
Okay.
None of them have worn it specifically. Well, as far as you're aware of.
Did Rolf have any... I think I asked this at the time. Did he have anything that made him appear as more than just a cleric? As in, like, he was more than just a basic cleric, like maybe part of the clergy or something, or someone of part of a specific order of the church?
I don't remember if you did or not.
I think I asked that, but I don't know if I got an answer. I could be wrong.
I'd say that he was probably a cleric sent on a pilgrimage.
Okay. Would there have been anything I would have gathered from him when I searched his body?
His insignia.
I'm totally gonna appear as a Death God priest then.
Oh.
I will have the cloak over top of his stuff as I approach them, and I will reveal the regalia as I get closer, so that I look like I'm just wearing a cloak, and then when it looks like I'm not in line of sight of the street, so that it looks like I'm trying to be inconspicuous, right? And then once I approach them in like a secluded way, then I will reveal myself as though I am. So whatever their response is gonna be tell me a lot. So this could go real fucking bad.
I would like you to be aware that all these clerics technically know remove curse, because you need at least remove curse for the specific purpose of getting rid of those worms.
That means all of them are 5th level.
At least 5th.
Yes. However, no cleric knows the fly spell, which means that if I need to get onto a rooftop, they can't follow me.
Do you know the fly spell?
No, but I can jump 12 feet.
Oh, that is true. And you do have a grappling hook. So you could easily get away.
I could get away and rain down hell on them.
Okay.
But I will disguise my face to not look like me, obviously. I will actually replace my face with Rolf's face. Ooh. Actually, no, that's a bad idea, because what if one of these guys knows what Rolf sounds like?
What if they also know that Ralph is dead?
Maybe. His body never came back to them. His body was lost in a building that you said collapsed.
No, it didn't collapse. The door collapsed, so
the door's sealed, but they can't get to it then.
Yeah.
So Rolf could just be on a really long mission. It's only been 2 weeks, and he was gone. Like he told us that he was there for months, and we know that there were bodies of adventurers that failed. So I mean, he'd been there for a while, which means to their perspective, he could have just been gone for a long time. But that's not why I'm not going to disguise myself as him, because if one of them knows Rolf, right? That'll just immediately give me away, because my voice isn't the same as his, and I don't have the mimicry feat. So I don't have the actor feat, I should say.
Because of your cloak, From the 15-foot distance, they can't see your face, but they can see the regalia
From the front.
from the front.
Yeah, I'm mostly covering it. So I will pull the cloak over my shoulders to reveal the whole thing once I'm past line of sight of the street, and I will approach them. And by the way, what is the gender makeup of this group?
Uh,
Before I approach all 5 clerics and say brothers, and like 2 of them are women.
one of the peace domain seeming ones is female. The rest, everyone else is male.
Okay. Well, War and Peace.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 of them are women.
One of them's women, everyone else is female. One of them is female, everyone else is male.
I really fucking wish I could remember some things that Rolf would have said. As I approach, gauging, can I make an insight check on the reactions to see, like, what they're
Go ahead.
like?
Roll an insight.
All right, here comes the dog shit. I have proficiency, but it's only a +4. 18. I'm trying to read the room.
Every one of them has a level of concern on their face.
Is it concern of fear or concern of something is going down?
Something. It depends on the kind of fear that you're talking about.
As in, are they afraid because I look like a priest of death, or are they afraid for the fact that maybe, like, that's the main thing I'm gleaning for. If they're afraid, if they seem afraid for some other reason, then it doesn't matter. It's more of like because they don't like death priests.
So they are concerned because they see you walking by with your wearing the insignia of the death god, and all of them, they are all personally members of the death god, and they're
I don't know that yet.
Well,
until just now.
They're concerned because, like, I'm trying to say that their faces are a concern in that they're like, "What are you doing?
It's a sign of recognition, not a sign of it's not the concern of, like, if you saw someone that was clearly a bandit approaching you and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get mugged by this ruffian, they're not concerned because the death priests have like a bad reputation. It's because they know something's up, you know.
So they have concern because they see you walking towards them, and they see the insignia of the death god, and they're all collectively like, "What are you doing, you idiot? You're gonna get us caught."
All right. Well, I will approach them, put my arms wide, and put like a fucking like a sick grin on, because, you know, trying to embody Rolf as much as I can, and simply say, brothers
And
sisters. You said 2. You said 2. Brothers.
I said
sisters.
one of them.
I don't remember. Brother and sister. I will say, how goes your duties? With a smile, and I will, mostly just try to be like, I belong here, effectively. Mostly like I'm just checking in on them.
Ralph, what are you doing?
I don't look like fucking Ralph.
Oh, you don't? Trying to channel Ralph.
What if one of them look like, if one of them knows what Ralph sounds like, that's a dead giveaway.
What are you doing, brother?
Right.
Are you trying to get us caught? He says, like, one of them leans into you and is saying that quietly. Are you trying to get us caught?
Don't think I am so foolish as to get caught. Look at all the death around us. There are few eyes to begin with, and those that can see are too preoccupied to take note. Also, I'm not bearing my regalia in the open. I am simply comfortable enough around my brothers to know that I am safe. My back is turned to any onlookers,
Ugh.
as they you know. So tell me, is there anything to report? Do we know why this happened? And can any of this benefit us?
Something was drawn towards the catacombs. And, well, that fool Argon, he took it before we ever even knew about it.
That petulant child, he may be hundreds of years old, but he doesn't know what he tampers with.
Yes.
So it'll all come back to him in time.
Now.
Has anyone? I'm not gonna cut him off. I'm gonna let him continue.
Now, brother. He lightly puts his hand on your cloak.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just gestures towards the person currently on the ground surrounding them. What do you think we should do with this one? He passed away long ago. Well, he passed away due to these insects.
I'm going to.
Should we make
that
him
true?
an offering to our god, or should we give him back to those who lost him?
I'm going to make an investigation, and sadly, there's no such thing as society in this. I'm gonna try and Sherlock Holmes this. So if you want to make the DC really fucking high, you can, or you can make me roll insight. I want to Sherlock Holmes this and see if I can discern if, based on his age, what it looks like he did. Does this look like a guy who was homeless and forgotten by the system, or someone that I'm pretty much trying to figure out if there's someone who would miss him. You know?
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to. What role would you like me to make?
Investigation on the body.
Okay. I'm not gonna guidance because that would be sus. 24.
That'll do. So, rings have the same value here in this world, and he in fact does not have a ring on his finger.
Mm-hmm. So he's not married. How old is he?
He just looks
How old does he look? He died several days ago, but how old did he look when he was alive?
About middle-aged. He doesn't have any hair on his scalp. And
I'm gonna kneel down. I'm going to raise his hand slightly and put my thumb next to where his finger is, and I'm gonna look back at them. He's not married. Look at his face. Does that look like the face of a man who has people to lose at this age? He's a loner.
I guess you are correct.
No one will miss him. Make him an offering. I'm going to curse myself inside my own head like, God fucking damn it.
Yes, I think we will.
We can't bring any suspicions. But this one, he won't be lost by anyone. I'm going to pull the cloak back over my shoulders in case, mostly just to be in case things are gonna get wrapped up here soon, so that, if I turn around, no one sees the regalia, just to make it so that it's not sus that I'm flaunting the regalia,
Mm-hmm.
So
Very
What is
well
it?
then.
What does he carry on any further?
Very well then. We shall take care of this. You go go cover
I will
yourself.
carry on overseeing the cleanup.
Indeed. Let us be aware of any others like him, if you would.
I will nod, and then I will pull the hood up, and I will exit the alley through like continuing on the way I was going when I entered it, and move past. I guess I should go back the other direction to get my to inform my steel defender, but that's mostly like it's fine. I'll have my homunculus come back. I will, as I wave to them as I walk facing the other direction, I will flick my finger in such a way that they wouldn't notice it, but my homunculus would see that as a programmed response to just sneak its way over to me.
Mm-hmm. And as you get out of
So,
sight of them, you flick off your disguise.
not necessarily. Yeah, I will. I have 3 uses of it, so I will drop the disguise and simply continue walking. They wouldn't see the disguise change because they just would see the cloak as I turn the corner.
Mm-hmm. You weren't
Fuck.
using your own face for that, were you?
No. 100%
Okay.
no. I was looking like I was looking at Joe Schmo McGee Rando the third.
Fair enough.
So I had the emblem that I took off of Ralph's corpse on my chest, appearing in the disguise as like on the clothes, so that if they did reach out and touch it, they would feel it there, so it wouldn't break the illusion. Just a heads up in case I do it again. I was doing that. That's why I did ask about the like if I took anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to make sure. And then they touched the cloak, so that wouldn't have broke the disguise because I didn't make myself taller or anything. So, as I was saying, as I round the corner, I get out of your sight. I say, "Fuck! They're everywhere." As in, they've
This
got their
goes.
fingers in more than. It's way deeper than I had originally suspected. It's more than just the one choice. So that's disconcerting. I will now that I've been informed of some thing they've discovered, I will work my way through town trying to figure out. I never asked about where it was, but I will mostly continue my studying of people. Like I'll go back to like either eyeballing people from a distance, being a sneaky snacko, or going to roofs. But I will spend a good chunk of more of the day primarily looking to see if I can notice different clerics acting in different ways. Like I know some of them are taking the bodies to you know not be buried or back to the family. So I'm just trying to like catalog like the different ones. Just take notes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If that's relevant. But
It should be.
I will also be keeping my eyes out for said uh archive or a place of interest.
So, eventually, like, as you're going through town, you come across a building that has, like, they've long since died, but there are still worms, like, seeming to make, like, 2 paths one going in, one going out.
Mm-hmm. Is this the place they spoke about? Seems like the epicenter of something. This is probably where they were going. I will look around to make sure that no one's following me. Should I make a really bad perception check? And should my homunculus make a really bad perception check? Actually, its perception's really good.
Its
so.
perception is better than yours.
Significantly.
So it easily could make a perception
Actually,
check.
I will give it guidance, and I will do the thing I wanted to do from the beginning, and have it activate scanning mode, as it pretty much looks around using its robot scanners to look for things, and I will activate that scanning mode by giving it guidance, effectively. This is an idea I had that if I ever played a artificer investigator, I would pretty much look for clues using my constructs. So if it notices anything, it will point them out to me, is my hope. So I will use
Let's-
my action to give it guidance, and then roll a perception for it with guidance. What were you going to say?
Let's quickly roll, like, 3 perception checks.
All right. Mine and its and...
No, 3 just for your homunculus servant. At 3
Okay.
different points of your travel.
Should I roll d4s for those?
Yep.
Those are dog shit.
I mean, 2 of them were too bad.
12, 16.
and 16.
16. Okay.
If there's
Great.
one thing that's
I
true, it's
rolled
that you're
a
consistent.
4. I rolled a 4, an 8, and an 8 on those perceptions. God damn it.
Yeesh. Well, yeah, no.
I don't see anything.
The first one, not as far as your homunculus servant is aware, but the rest of them, yeah, no.
All right. Cool. Then I will slip inside. I can't see shit, can I?
It's pretty dim in there.
Do I have a light spell of any kind? Oh, this is gonna be a fucking horror story. All right. Well, I will touch a object and I will activate
I thought you had a bullseye
magic
lantern.
nightlight. I do not remember.
Hmm.
It's not mine.
Well, I know that you had a lantern of your own, but not Carlia's lantern.
I don't believe I did. But what I will do to make things a little bit more spooky is I'm going to touch some objects and I will make 2 magic tinkerings that are going to give off light. So if I remember correctly, that gives me a 5-foot radius of bright light and an additional 5-foot radius of dim light. So I can see in a 10-foot radius around both myself and my homunculus servant, because I will have it carry one around vision. So a 25 by 25 area, roughly speaking, centered on the 2 of us, wherever we move.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes. And
Magic
pretty
tinkering
much I
on
will...
your steel defender. Just make it completely glow.
It's not
in the
here.
dark. I thought you were
It's not
bringing
here,
it with
remember? No, I brought my homunculus because my steel defender's too conspicuous.
you. Oh, true.
Remember, I'm thinking like James Bond. I'm
entrances-
sneaking around.
Entrance is right here, by the way.
Yes. Are these? I'm assuming these candles burnt out like hours ago.
Yeah, probably.
Nice. My homunculus is. I'm gonna currently keep it in my sleeve. But it's holding a tiny rock that's glowing.
So you guys
Oh,
got
what the fuck
your
is-
sleeve is glowing. Then
Yeah. Well, it's a leather sleeve, so they wouldn't. Maybe my wrist is glowing, but probably not.
so as you get close to that thing, you see a large pile of just like worms that are dead. Large pile of dead worms.
Do I pick out anything special about them with my passive investigation?
They were definitely killed by I think it was Carlia and Brad.
Were they killed with fire?
They did not kill Carlia. This is like the handiwork
I know.
of your allies.
I said, were they killed with fire?
I think they might have been.
Mm.
I don't know though. I'm not entirely
I'm mostly gonna look
sure.
around. Do I see scratch marks that look like someone that had big sharp claws was walking around in here?
Gearman's feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like me to roll an investigation?
Actually, yeah. Let's roll an investigation. I think you probably.
All right,
need higher than your passive.
here comes a 12. 22. You said
22.
higher than my passive. I did it. I beat my
did it by
passive
1
by
point.
1.
Yeah. Because, like, you're passively investigating. That's not the same thing as actively investigating, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you are actively looking out for his footprints, and you do indeed find both your Claude
I'm Batman
companions.
reverse engineering the scene.
Yeah, you definitely see both of your Claude companions. Actually, all 3 or 4 of your Claude companions' footprints.
As I walk through, I immediately am less concerned about my own safety. I'm like, well, anything from here on forward is probably dead. As I walk through, and I see this pile of corpse over here.
Yeah. And you see this woman that still has, like, worms, like, sticking out of her skin.
Nice.
And just behind her, you see a small crevice in the wall.
What do I see? Like, what do you mean impressive? Like a crack I can reach my arm into, or
like a crevice the size that you can walk through it.
So a hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I should have said, was a hole in the wall.
There's a bump on the log and the hole in the bottom of it. Anyways, do I? What do I see in the hole?
It just seems like it's a tunnel that goes deep. Like it's it's a like low slope.
Okay, I pick up another rock or a maggot. I magic tinkering it to make it glow, and I yeet it down the hole. What do I see?
As you toss it down, you see like more of those worms just like strewn throughout the, like, just making a couple paths going throughout it. They're all dead, by the way. Like,
does the rock? Okay, so I should say I would have magic stoned it and yeeted it the full 60 feet.
So you just like see a pretty empty path as like that goes deep.
All right, I will continue to follow this path.
Continuing down the path, you eventually
I'll have my
come
homunculus
to
looking backwards. I will have it 20 yards behind me, but following me.
Let's roll another perception check to see if you notice anything.
Me and my homunculus, or just perceiving for forward or perceiving for backward?
Perceiving for backward.
Okay. I have my steel defender sheet out. Where's my homunculus? Alright, jeez.
What did you do?
How could I have done this thing? Hold on.
You did mess up.
Okay. Percept. 19. So,
like, your homunculus servant crawls up your sleeve to, like, look around behind you.
No, it didn't crawl up my sleeve. I have it flying behind me.
Oh, well.
Like, several yards behind me, so that, we spread out the area of light, because I have a very limited range of light, so I need to have 2 sources of light that are farther apart to cover more of it, is what I'm doing.
As it's, like, looking behind you, like, just from the hole, it sees a person, like, look down there, and then immediately back out of the way.
As in, did it notice me?
The person noticed, like, the homunculus servant, like, a light beaming towards them, and they just immediately hid.
So it saw that. What does it do with that information? Because it can't speak.
Maybe it starts tapping on you. Tapping on to get your attention. And just, like, gesture.
You know what's immediately going to happen. I activate the shield and I pull out the crossbow and I start walking back.
And as you are walking out of the hole, you can audibly hear the slamming of boots against the ground, and then quickly a slam of the door behind you.
So I'm coming out of the hole. There's a hole down the hole. There was a door down the hole.
The door to the crypt is, like, it gets shut behind you, and Uh, presumably locked.
Okay. Interesting. Hmm. That shouldn't be too hard to deal with. The question is there any windows in here?
There are not.
So it's a completely solid stone building.
Yeah.
All right. Is the door wood?
It's stone.
The door is stone. Okay. Question: does it swing inward or outward?
Uh, swings outward.
You bitch. All right. All right. Well, I will turn back. If it's locked, is there a lock on this side of the door? Does the lock go all the way through? Also, how the fuck do you lock a door so that the inside is locked?
Good question.
This is a fucking This is a fucking fire hazard. What if people were in here having church and someone threw a Molotov in and then locked the door? Like, someone's gonna report this to the goddamn fire chief. All right.
Hilarious.
OSHA is gonna come down hard on this place.
You know, for the purposes of you don't know if the dead are gonna stand up and try and get out. That's why they have the door locked.
Yeah. So, this place is completely fucking sealed.
Yep.
Who the fuck has a church that doesn't have a single
It's not a
fucking
church, it's a crypt.
window? Anyways, I head down the hole again. I'll come back to that.
Come back to that? Okay.
I have several days worth of rations in my pack.
Eventually you reach the bottom of the tunnel, and you can very clearly see, like, a doorway that was kind of dug out by, something. And just behind it is a stone wall.
Does the wall seem to have any shit going on?
It was...
Anything special about it?
There were scratch marks on one side. Well, on the side that you were at. Presumably from the thing that dug its way to it.
I see.
Other than that, I don't know how I could ever explain pass wall.
I mean, there would be no trace of it. So,
Yeah.
I don't even think if I would have Arcana'd, I would even, like, unless I were like a 31 Arcana, I don't think I would like note it, like see the like lingering
So other than the
traces
scratch
of
marks,
magic.
you can't tell.
Okay. I don't have any grenades, except I do kind of, but those do fire damage. Let's see. I got acid.
I mean, you can always just turn your tool, your all-purpose tool, into like a pickaxe or something and just start beating down the wall.
I could. I'm just trying to think. I have stonemason's tools, so if I was to make I would just so let's go for this. Let's do that. But considering I will give my I will that count as like stonemason's tools effectively?
Sure.
Okay. So I would have expertise in that. Should I make a check or an attack roll against this fucking wall? I take off the coat and throw it down, so I'm in like effectively a dress shirt, and I roll my sleeves up because I know this is gonna suck. And we're in a hole. It's gonna get hot in here. It's a very confined space.
Let's roll an attack.
With Is this considered a magic weapon?
Yeah.
Okay, thank God, or else this would have been a really slow process.
Improvised
Um,
weapon, though. Possibly.
uh, I will. I mean, if it's magic, I have proficiency. No, no, like. Actually,
Eh,
no. Technically, I
Hold
wouldn't
on, I
have
need to...
proficiency because I have proficiency in simple and martial weapons. So, would this count as a improvised war pick?
Probably.
Also, hold on. This is considered a tool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have expertise in tools. Should
I
I
don't
roll?
know. I don't know what
And
the
it,
general, like, health thing for a health and armor of
oh,
an
health
object
health
would
for
be.
objects. Oh, okay. Hold on. That's actually a really easy thing to check. So, D&D 5e object AC. So objects, this is going to come down to, okay, so object hit points and object AC. So the AC for stone is 17, and the so if it's a resilient object I would assume this is large.
Yeah.
So large is cart, 10 foot by 10 foot or window sized, would have 27 resilience. Or, well, if it's a resilient object, it would have 5d10 hit points or 27.
Okay.
If
That
you want to
works.
make this suck, you can make it 50 and take the max because it's literally a stone wall.
I mean, it works. You're not trying to break down the entire wall. You're just trying to break an opening for yourself.
Okay. So we're going to say I'm rolling attacks with a magic pick, a magic war pick, effectively.
Yep.
All right. My expertise won't affect this at all, unless you just want to say that I have advantage on the attacks because, or you could do the demolitionist thing and make my attacks against structures, specifically the ones that I would have proficient knowledge in their construction. You could just treat my damage as doubled, such
Yeah,
as like with
probably.
siege magic. Okay, so I'll just roll. A rapier does the same damage, and they're magical, so my attack roll is the same as my damage. So I will just use my magic rapier as the stats for it. But this is the pick. It's not a +1, so subtract 1 from that. So I rolled a 25. Does that hit?
Yeah, 25 is pretty good.
I deal 18 damage with it. So do I just take a chip out of a big chonking chip out of this bitch?
Yep.
All right. I will assume that's like a whole round's worth of attacks. I do it again. 24.
Another 18.
And another 18.
And this time you just, like... The first one you get, like, a hole in the wall so you can see the other side. And this second time, you just...
Wait. I want to flavor this as... oh, no, I don't have it. Never mind. I was going to say Booming Blade, but I'm not fucking... I'm not fucking Baron, so I don't have Booming Blade. I was gonna say I just pump a fucking shitload of sonic energy into it to shatter it, but it doesn't work like that.
This time, with
Savage.
the second one, you, like, stick your pickaxe into the hole that you made and just, like, pull, and it tumbles enough to the ground that you can fit through.
Like a 2-foot diameter section of it just like crumbles out, and I can squeeze through.
Yeah.
All right. I will step in, and I will send my homunculus to do a lap around the room because I don't have that much light. Does anything attack me?
Well, you are hit with the scent of mold and mildew and stale air, but
Nice, you dead.
probably lessen, like, not super stale air anymore because your
They
allies
made an
have already
opening
been
before.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Do I occasionally get a hint of lilac? No.
I don't think
Let's see.
any of your allies have a specific scent.
I was gonna say making the meme about prestidigitation.
Oh.
but that
Oh,
only
yeah.
lasts an hour. That only lasts an hour, so it wouldn't.
She did prestidigitation herself. That's right.
Yeah, the air specifically, but that was me memeing. Don't worry about that. I will.
You're taken aback by the scent.
Yes. Well, I don't see myself on the map, but that doesn't super duper matter.
So it's
We will
right
move.
here.
Oh, this is where I came in.
Yes.
Okay. Um. Well, I might have another way out of here, potentially.
Potentially. They didn't explore that area.
Investigate that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I will. But I will mostly scan through all the bookshelves to see if I can see anything of interest.
Okay.
Do I see anything of interest?
Why don't you just drop yourself down?
Because Joe,
Bruh. Well,
bruh,
you can probably see like the embers like well, I don't know how long they've been burning for a bit.
if they're candles, how long ago was the party here?
What time of day is it?
Probably getting at this point after. So I've been sneaking around, right, and taking notes. That's a
Mhm.
slow process. Probably when I talked to those guys was several hours ago, so it's getting close to dusk,
Okay.
right?
So yeah, the candles are really low, but still somewhat burning.
Nice. I'm going to uh definitely pretty much like I was saying, I'm gonna pretty much gonna walk along all the edges and like I'm not gonna like oh and then I oh like walk like that, but pretty much I'm scanning the bookshelves looking for any of no I'm assuming like the description from earlier, they're dank and dead and toast.
They're moldy and spongy.
If I open one, is there any text remaining?
Like, they all their pages like stick together as you try and open one.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I don't even know if you can get one out because of how long they've been down here collecting like moisture.
It's paper. If I need to, I can cut them out along the edges.
Well, either way, uh the if there is any text remaining, it's unreadable.
Hmm.
But just about what you can gather from it, like anything that is even half readable, is that this was like general knowledge stuff, mostly like nothing of true interest down here.
Do I notice on any of the shelves areas where dust has been disturbed? Specifically, things missing recently?
Your allies or the enemies?
Just literally something that has not clearly had several decades worth of dust piled in one spot.
Well,
So literally any spots that don't have a shitload of dust and thus were disturbed sometime within the last several months.
well, you see that chair there? It's
Yes.
in perfectly good condition. It's just toppled over. Which, you would expect that it wouldn't be in good enough to get condition to sit on.
Mm.
Like, it audibly, if you do try and sit on it, it audibly creaks, but it holds your weight.
I'm not sitting on that shit. Dando, you
You
know
can
that if you
definitely-
pick up an object off a table that has been sitting there for several months, you see an exact outline of that object, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, you also... On the lectern, you also do see uh, an outline of some strange device or something. And in the back, there's a few pale crystals, like pale blue crystals, still sitting there.
Back here.
Yeah, in the back there.
Is there anything like? Do they glow or anything?
They glow a pale blue.
All right, I'm gonna Arcana this like really violently. Let's see if I roll a 47 and it explodes. All right. Arcana. What I get? All right, 23. That's shit. Flash of Genius. 28.
You gather similar information to what I told Carlia, where they seem to have held knowledge, but these ones are
some tryhard is gonna watch your streams and see me do Arcana. She'd be like, he should have to use the fucking identify spell."
Yeah, I'd hate for that to happen.
You. I'd be like, "Fuck you! I've got a plus like a billion to my Arcana. Give me this."
They seem to contain information, but this one, like the ones that remain, seem to contain like no information whatsoever.
I mean, I know what it effectively does, and I would effectively figure out like, oh, this is how it works. But I wouldn't have a way of reading it. I can't like, unless you'll allow this to happen, for me to use my all-purpose tool, which can take shape and mold itself and stuff, to grab it by both ends and extract the information from it.
Like I said, this one contains like no information.
So do any of them are any of them like that are left here got information?
Sadly, I don't think so.
Cringe.
As they're all the same or similar pale blue color.
Well, I'll collect them together and I'll throw them in the pack just as raw materials then, because I don't have anything I can do with them.
Karma says, "Sorry, Slade, I took all the good ones."
I'll get you back, bitch. I'm going to come up to. Obviously, I got close enough to the lectern to see it, so this would have just entered my field of light, and my homunculus servant has been just like helicoptering around. I see this.
Do completely recognize this. This pedestal seemed to have at one point held a cylinder, a spherical object. There we go. Why couldn't I think of sphere?
All right. Does it look like one I'd be familiar with?
100%. You're familiar with this.
Okay. Quick check. Is there anything? I'll roll another Arcana if you want. Anything in like magical about? I have Identify. I have Detect Magic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to perform the ritual. I've got all fucking day at this point, because nothing's attacked me yet. I will spend the 10 minutes to ritual cast Detect Magic, because I'm not wasting one of my spell slots on that. And I will look at it. Even if nothing comes of it, doesn't matter. I'm mostly looking to see like, does this have any magical significance to holding one of those crystals? Or not one of the crystals, not like the ones I had before, but like the sphere.
One of the orbs of...
Yeah. Like, because there's a thing I thought about afterwards, like maybe this stabilizes them or something. I'm just checking to see. And then I'll roll an Arcana if I have to afterwards. Like if the combination of Arcana plus Detect Magic will give me anything.
All right.
The detect magic is the first step to just see if there's any magic whatsoever
So
going on with it.
you can immediately see glyphs around the edges of it,
Uh huh.
but without an Arcana check, I don't know if you're going to be able to recognize them.
All right. Well, go along with the Arcana check. Me and what's her name, the wife, uh, added extra seals and stuff to the one I had before, right?
Mm.
I don't know if this is going to have any relevance, but I want to get it out since I can currently see glyphs and stuff like that. I want to cross reference them to see if there is any similarity between the seals we made versus whatever glyphs and shits on this. And I don't know if that'll give me advantage or anything. You decide after I roll which one it is.
Man, you've been
For
rolling a
yourself.
lot of nat 20s just on the wrong side.
Yeah, just with disadvantage. And I'm not going to say my homunculus servant gives me advantage because it doesn't have any way to help me with Arcana. So,
Yeah.
all right. That was what's this down here? That's a
26.
26. Fuck it. I'll use another flash of genius. Give me that big fat 31.
You can very clearly see, like, some of the older glyphs that you, like, retraced over, like,
Uh-huh.
they match quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
As
Is
well
there
as...
can I glean anything new from this that I didn't glean from the last one?
So, this one, they seem to be faintly powered still. Unlike the other one that, you didn't do this, but they weren't there.
Hmm. Here's a dangerous thought.
Hmm.
So, I have the crystal out of its cage. I'm going to, while I still have detect magic, hopefully this hasn't been, if it's been 10 minutes, I will recast detect magic. But I want to be able to see this if anything happens. I'm going to put it on the pedestal. I'm not leaving it here, but I'm putting it on to see if something happens. And I'm going to very intently watch to try and learn something. If popsicle.
Well, so as you place it down, like, a small crack forms on it, like, not because of your doing, because of, like, the pressure on the outside of it. Some of the magic starts to try and seep out, but as it gets to the edge of the pedestal, it just, like, a barrier starts flickering, and some of it gets stopped as it tries to go out.
Do I see any, like, different magic happening, or is this clearly the seals that the seals that I've already written over, like, activating, and, like, this is what it was supposed to be doing?
The seals on the pedestal, they're, like, flickering now, like, in time with the barriers pulsing.
Hmm.
They seem to have had a uh what's the word I'm looking for? Failsafe.
Oh, okay.
Where basically if it did get to the point where they needed time to repair it, the pedestal itself would prevent the magic from escaping.
Okay. Hmm. So, is any of this different from the seals that we added in terms of, like, is it something I could learn from this?
Mm, sure. There's a few that seem to be, like, flickering especially
I'm
brightly.
mostly trying to expand my understanding of this.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
I'm trying to reverse engineer the magic involved in this if I can do anything to solve this problem in the future.
Yeah.
So
There
I will
are
definitely notate all of them.
there are definitely a lot of different ones, but there are some that are similar. and it appears that in combination they created this barrier. These ones are just faint and are unable to prevent it.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, like, after you see this, you pick up the orb, you mend it, and then you put it back in its case.
I will very thoroughly make sure that I get the exact precise shapes of all those glyphs. And then I will mend the orb and then lock it back in its cage. And put it back in the portal hole. Not portal hole. In the
bag.
In the bag. Also, I put my cloak back on immediately as soon as I was through the hole.
Fair enough.
And then I shall pack up my things, take a sweep around the top floor. I'm assuming the top floor is more of the same, just shelves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Shelves of moldy books.
Yeah.
And I'm going to roll a D100. If I get a 90 or higher, I will have something special.
Hell yeah, let's go. Man, rolled a 1.
I rolled a 92.
Hey! I am up here.
You find while, like, scrolling through it, you find a book that's oddly untouched by it. And if you still have your detect magic on it, you'll see why. It has runes on it itself. And the title of the book specifically is A Rune Maker's Guide to Glyphs.
Hell? I will snap the book open. And flip through the first couple pages. Who's the author? Who's the publishing company? No.
It's a pretty ancient book. Like,
that's the question. Can I read any of this?
It's old, but only a couple hundred years old. And it's probably is in one of the few languages that you can read. So
I know Gnomish, Dwarvish, Common. I had specifically said, before, when I had to learn the Elven stuff, we had talked about this, and I don't think I ever marked it down. Did we decide that the language I learned...
You do have Elven.
Was it... Well, what I was going to say, is it Elven or super old Elven, which would be Sylvan? Like, how old were the books that I learned Elven from? Because I was looking at, like, ancient stuff. Or at least my assumption, under what I assumed was the case.
It might have been Sylvan, but this book is very clearly written in Gnomish.
It's okay. Because what I was getting at is that, like, so if you imagine that Elven is Italian, Sylvan is, like...
Latin.
Greek. It's like Latin. It's it's not dead, because technically in this setting, like, unicorns and things that live in the Feywild technically still speak Sylvan, but Elven is, like, a distant, like, descendant of Sylvan, effectively.
But yeah, it's written in Gnomish, and some of the glyphs you recognize from both your both what you know of glyphs, but as well as from the pedestal and the orbs themselves. Some of them you haven't noticed before.
Well, I'm definitely going to keep this with me, but I don't want to stay in this dank crypt and catch syphilis. Not syphilis. What's a fungus that attacks people's lungs? Whatever that would be, I'm going to leave before I get, like, some terrible mold infection in my, like...
I mean, you probably could have been, like, you putting a cloth over your, like, mouth and nose.
I don't think medieval cloths are dense enough to filter air.
They are if they're silk.
Like, I don't have silk. We've not established that I have silk. I have thread.
Fair.
I'm not whipping out a loom to make silk. I don't have that many hours in the day. I'm assuming by the time I get out, it's gonna be nighttime with all the reading I've done.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So I see this at this doorway here
It's
that's
crumbled, but
crashed in on itself.
you can still make it over. It just like it's basically just difficult terrain.
All right, I will scamper over it and get on the other side. And then there's this collapsed staircase.
It's a pretty tall staircase. Other
Is it
than
like a
that,
spiral staircase or is it just like a steep
it's a steep
staircase?
incline staircase that goes for a while.
Ah. Well, I will grapple onto the ceiling and swing across the gap and then trudge my way up the stairs.
Making your way up the stairs. None of the other stairs seem to be in such a state of disrepair somehow.
Yes. Does the end of the staircase take me to a trapdoor leading into an orphanage or something?
So, it does lead you to a trap door, but as you try and like open it, there's definitely something on top of the door, and as you like bash your shoulder against it, like small clumps of like small slits of dirt fall down.
Son of a bitch. I'm going to. So my assumption right now is that one, there is dirt on top of this. But what's going to make this even harder is probably the grass that is growing on top of the dirt, which creates effectively a mat that holds itself together, so the dirt won't move out of the way.
Yeah.
So I will, if I can get a crack, I'm gonna jab my saber through the gap and try and cut my way down the length of the door. To try and like, if there is like grass holding it, I'm just gonna try and cut around the edges of the door to, cut it free. So at least I just have to lift up the weight and not the mat of grace. All right. Do I need to make strength checks?
Yes, but I don't think they're
All
gonna be
right.
too hard of strength checks.
All right, guys. Here's where I die. Get rid of guidance. Get rid of artist's intuition. Hey, I rolled a 17.
Nice. That's one good bash against the door. You feel it loosen up a little bit. You probably need another one.
Ah, Jesus. Here comes the one.
That's a
Close
7.
enough. That's an 8 that I rolled on the die. Nothing
This
happened.
one, it doesn't quite work.
This is why I bring my muscle with me. Ah, son of a bitch. I need to get a portable hole to throw that son of a bitch in. But here's the problem. I'm gonna accidentally the reason I'm not gonna actually make a portable hole is that one of these days I would have the bag of holding on my hip, and then I jump in the portable hole and I just die. That'd be the last anyone would ever see of Roy. It would be hilarious. That's what I was thinking about. I'm like, man, I could get my steel defender in so many places if I just had a portable hole because it can't suffocate. And then I thought about that more. I'm like, wait, I have a bag of holding. I'd be so fucked because I would definitely forget at some point.
All right, one more shoulder bash against the door.
All right, I die in here.
Not quite. Give it another go.
I suffocate.
You're not suffocating because that gap is giving you
Here we
enough.
go. That's an 8.
All right. After 4 shoulder
I'll pull out
bashes,
an axe and cut the fucking door away, and the dirt will just cave in. If that, like...
After 4 bashes of the shoulder against the door, it finally comes loose, and you're able to open the door.
One shoulder bash, there was like a drunken man at a bar stumbling through a window. The other 3 were like a toddler with a sock and bopper.
It pays to have your muscle with you.
I stumble out into the night air. Do I get shot?
No.
Okay.
You open up. Well, you find yourself in one of the fields again. Just like a patch of grass just on the outskirts of the fields.
You know what I'm gonna do? Just in case. Hmm. I'm really thinking here for a second. Does anyone know about this place?
Absolutely not. Other than the death cult.
They know about the place, but they don't know about this door.
Nope.
Idea. What time of night? What time is it in game?
Mm, dusk. Like, actually,
Dusk.
long past, like, nightfall. It's pretty dark out, but you can see some torches lit across the way.
I've still got a couple hours. I am going back in and close the door. I'm going to send out my homunculus servant to find my steel defender and come back. So I am completely the fuck alone. Um, this is when I get attacked by spiders. I'm going to make my way down the staircase. Gonna go.
Forgetting about the gap in the staircase at the bottom, and you just face plant on the bottom steps.
Okay. I take 8 damage. um. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to the hole that I broke myself, and so in the tunnel, where did the dirt go?
That's a good question. It seemed like it got packed away onto the sides.
All right. I'm gonna actually, with that in mind, I'm actually gonna wait a second. Um, I'm gonna scour around that crypt for a shovel. Someone in a place where people bury bodies had to have had a shovel,
Investigation
right?
check.
All right. That's intimidation. That's not gonna work. I intimidate reality to give me a shovel.
There you go. You
All
find
right.
one
I
that's
find a
a
shovel.
bit old, but will do the job fine.
I will go back down and I will take a couple of minutes mending it to make it in decent condition. And I wait for my steel defender to arrive. Should we roll to see how many hours I'm stuck here waiting?
No, you don't have to wait too long. Maybe like
Okay,
20
it's
minutes or
fast.
so.
It's fast. Okay. So, this is my idea. I'm going to have my steel defender start from inside, like at the top of the hole. I'm going to have it attempt to start caving in the um the dirt, like a little back towards the hole, and try and start like getting the tunnel to collapse. You know what I'm saying? Because I want it to be hidden from the opposite side, and mostly I just want it to be like just fucking like no one will look here. They'll think the place just caved in, right? And then I want it to work its way back. You can make some rolls, or I can make some rolls if you want to see if I lose it. I will be very sad if I do, but it's better him than me.
I think that this is probably something that it's able to do adeptly without getting caught in it.
All right. I'm gonna back, like pretty much filling in the hole backwards as it backs up, and then when it squeezes through the hole, I'm gonna use my masonry skills to put the bricks back that I broke, mend any together that I have to, replaster it, and then if need be, I will break down some of these shelves and like just brace it up while the dirt settles so that the wall doesn't cave in. Now that the dirt is packed up against it again, while the dirt settles, so the braces are there, and I will then head back up.
What plans do you have for this place now?
When I get to the top of the staircase, I'm going to take out one of my tools from that I keep with me as an object that I am very familiar with, so that if in the future I can cast find object, I'm going to leave it like inside on the stairs, and then I'm going to close it back up and cover the trapdoor.
I see. That's what you're doing.
I'm hiding this place in case I want a safe house in the future.
I had a feeling.
That tonight's gonna be a good night. No. So that's what I do. And now I have a secret hidey hole, potentially, for future use. And I will actually, because that's just like an emergency. If I lose my notes, I will, using cartographer's tools, which I have expertise in, make a very detailed map of where this location is relative to the town.
Yeah.
And then I will hide it away in my bag. Cool. Now that it is thoroughly nighttime, I shall head into town with my hood up. And I'm going to geez, voice crack. Geez, voice crack.
Oh, jeez.
How much more time you got? That's the real question.
How much more time?
How much more time are you good for?
I'm good for a little while longer. I still have around an hour before I have to go to bed. So.
Are you having fun?
Yes. Still very nervous.
Cool.
Still nerve-wracked about this.
Hey, yo, whoa, wait. It's okay. So I had, I kind of have as much information as I think I'm gonna get, because like,
You obviously
I just turbo know now that I didn't get a super bunch of knowledge from this specifically, but I did get a lot of information from that conversation I had with those guys, in the sense that I now know that they aren't just...
This goes a lot deeper.
Yeah, this goes a lot deeper. So now I have to be sus of almost any person that's part of an organized church. So I gotta find, if I want to trust a priest for some reason, the only ones I can find are ones that aren't part of like the clergy or aren't like monastic. They're not ones that like hang out at church all day, is what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. So I will make my way into town. I'm going to. So how late now do you think it would be after all of that? Also, should I roll a crafting check? I probably should.
Probably, yeah. On that
Artisans.
masonry fixing.
Oh, that's kind of shit.
Wow.
14. I will flash a genius that. 19.
Good enough.
I'm burning through all of those!
Just for this.
I used the first two just because I wanted to fucking be like, oh, I'm so good at this thing. Now I'm down to 2. I shouldn't have used those earlier, but I did, so I got 2 left.
Your flash of genius does get you high enough that you could repair the wall.
Yeah.
Looks actually better than it did before.
I used mending a couple of times, so that probably made it easier. But, yes. Nice-oo. I mend the grass. Do I have to make a deception check? Do I need to use a deception check to hide it?
I mean, dirt is an object, so technically...
I was mending the grass that I cut. I'm mending the mat of grass back together.
Yeah. Technically.
Because people will notice an H-shaped cut in the grass from where the doors were. So... I will mend that back together. Yay, magic. Anyways, I head into town. Do I get mugged?
Well, you pass by the theater, and as you're passing by the theater, you see out back in the alleyway a cleric just come out of the room, come out of the back, and he's just like, "Whew, what a long day."
I don't know who's the cleric.
He's very clearly wearing like priest clothing.
He came out of a theater.
Yeah, out of the back.
He could be an actor.
Technically, he was an actor, but he's an actual cleric.
How do I know that?
He does not appear to be in costume. Like, he's generally wearing... we'll say this
Okay. So
this guy
let's
is from the Nature Domain Church.
Choich.
Choich.
Yeah, it's the Choich in nature.
Well, I guess it's technically Life Domain, but... It still reads the same.
I'm gonna look at him. Does he think I'm about to mug him as I look at him?
Starts running the other direction.
I'm gonna chase after him. No. That'd be so funny. I chase after him. I fucking vortex warp him onto a roof so that he can't get down.
I mean, you could.
I could, but that would be very conspicuous. How big is the choich?
I mean, it's not a he walked out of the theater.
Not the choich. How big is the theater?
Not that tall, actually. It seems like they dug some of the building into the foundation.
Damn.
Like, it's wide and long, but not tall.
Alright, so my Steel Defender mugs him. No. I mean... Just trying to think at this point. Like, I had an idea of what to do with this man's... but... I don't... You know what? I will follow him.
Okay.
The second he turns down an alley that looks like, there aren't, like, a whole lot of onlookers. Is this guy starting to make noise? Like, is he making a scene?
He's just, like, running and, like, he's doing that typical
Is he running
chased.
or is he power walking?
He's doing that typical being chased thing. Which is like...
Okay, how many people are out right now?
Not very many.
I really don't want to make a scene. Okay.
It is nighttime, and
I'm gonna be
Batman.
Batman. I'm gonna be Batman. I'm gonna disappear down an alley, like, and then I'm just gonna Misty Step onto a roof and then chase him from a distance, looking down, mostly trying to stay low. I would like to make, since I broke line of sight, can I make a stealth check?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have that +2, so 12.
Let me make a...
Do I need to Flash of Genius this as fucking well?
Let me roll a d20 with, like, we'll just say a +5.
Wait, it's contested.
So
Does that mean I just barely pass his perception?
yes.
I will wait
Just
till
barely.
till he turns off the street, and then I will drop down in front of him.
And that happens, he just goes, "Huh!" As you
I'm gonna
like
cover
drop
his
down
mouth.
in front of him.
Do I have to make a grapple check?
I don't think so. It's like not that hard of a thing to do to just grab somebody's face. If you were trying to hold him still, that would be a different case, though.
I'm gonna get right up close to him. I'm gonna just go, put my finger up to my mouth and go, shh. and I'm gonna look over his shoulder. I'm gonna look down the other way, down the alleyway. Do we see anything?
You just see guards passing by, but they don't look down the alleyway.
Were they like trying to help him, or were they going after someone else?
No, they were just seemingly patrolling the night.
Okay. I have some questions to ask you. I'm not here to hurt you. Is there another like place we can like dip down that will be less conspicuous than even where we are now?
There's an even darker alleyway right behind you.
Is it narrow enough to fit just one person?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have him. If I have to, I will attempt to shove him to go down the alley before me.
I mean, you could just like, well, you're not gonna threaten him, are you?
I'm not really trying to threaten him, no, because that would make a scene really fast.
Yeah.
Keep your voice down. Are you a cleric? You came out of a theater, but your garb seems more authentic than a costume.
Well, technically, yes, I am, but I also work part-time at the theater. You know how the theater has quite a few injuries from time to time. And this show, especially, made... Well, needless to say, I'm feeling drained. That half-orc girl... It seems like she does it on purpose.
Hilarious. Carrying on. Question. Do you... How often these days do you visit the church?
Every week it feels like I go less and less. But I try to make it a habit to visit on the day of our faith.
So tell me, have you seen any changes? Is there anyone that you know well from the church that has been acting differently recently?
You mean like the people whose scapulars seem a bit thicker than normal?
That would... probably, yes.
Well, I didn't think much of it. In our line of work, scapulars tend to go through quite a bit. And, you know, having extra protection is helpful from time to time.
I didn't understand that.
Screw off, Bixby!
Shut up, Google! Tell me, have these people acted strange at all? Really? I need you to think about this. I'm going to touch behind my ear, doing the thing, and if he starts to get spooked by my eyes starting to glow and my fingertip, my index and middle finger both glowing weirdly, I'm going to put my fingers on his forehead and give him guidance if he happens to be attempting to make a history check to remember.
History is intelligence.
Yes, it is, which is probably really shit for him, but
I'll make
that's
it
why
a-
I'm giving him guidance. That's why I'm giving him guidance, and if I have to, I will use Flash of Genius to assist him, because I can give anyone that +5.
I'll give him a +3 to his intelligence, and that's it. 10.
Roll a d4.
Let's roll that d4.
Come on.
14.
Flash of Genius, he has a 19.
Well,
Come on, boy, be
to
worth
be
my fucking
honest,
time.
I have seen people of the clergy, like, at the end of our sessions, they seem to act as if, well, look as if nobody's watching. Well, look to see if anybody's watching and then escape out the back door. I have also noticed more and more of people of other churches coming together. That's a thing, I guess.
Can you think, are there any churches that any members of faith or any, what I'm trying to say is, are there any people like of faith? Pretty much, is there like a group that isn't part of, like, is there any church that they've noticed that doesn't have people acting like that? I don't know if that would overstep what he would know, but because he said groups of from many churches, like if there's any that have been conspicuously not part of those gatherings that he would have noticed. If he didn't notice, that's fine.
I didn't pay too much attention to their scapulars, but rarely do I see people from the Church of Water.
Recalling back to earlier, were there any Choice of Wada boys in that group
There
of five?
was a singular one among them.
Okay, so that's not helpful information. I immediately get the information this guy's recounts are not super um they're not like super good, but also I did get a little bit of useful information that they leave out the back. I'm gonna ask him when the next service would be.
Well,
That would be led by one of these suspicious individuals. If he knows.
if I remember correctly, it's in about 3 days or so.
I'll nod along. Fair enough. I'm going to look again. I'm going to actually, as my, I'm assuming my Steel Defender and my Homunculus Servant have caught up. I'm going to look at them. Can I use looking at them? Do they look around and then can they nod or shake their head if the coast is clear?
They will shake. Well, they will nod their heads that it is safe.
Okay. I would highly suggest you keep this conversation secret.
Well, honestly, I think I am more scared of you, seeing as how that thing, than I am of my own fellow men of faith.
I don't know if I should intimidate him now because like he says that, and I'm gonna say, well,
he sees
I
he's saying that he sees your Steel Defender and is very like terrified of that. As you caught up to him very quickly, and that thing just like emanates an aura that
it's very unnatural, like the way it moves.
Yeah, it's very menacing in its aura.
So insight, does that mean that he's going to tell on me?
No, he will not.
Okay. Because I would have had to have made him disappear, but I will not. I will just respond with, "Good." I should have disguised myself. Hold on. Can I rewind the clock a little bit and change my face?
Yes, you can.
I will have changed specifically my face before I approached him because I still have 2 more uses of that.
I mean, when he first saw you, you were probably longer than 15 feet away.
Far enough away. I was far enough away, probably. So.
But now that you're up and close, you have to make sure.
Yes, that's why I was thinking about it for the last little couple of minutes. Like, I got really close to this guy, but it is dark. But I'm just gonna use magic. If he wants to do an investigation check to see through it, he has to be at a DC 17.
I don't think he's gonna be able to.
You gave him a +3.
It is intelligence, and I gave him a +3. Nor do I doubt it, though. Yeah, no.
Yeah, he failed. Okay. He does not see the skies. Cool. I'm going to turn around.
Excuse me, I still have some duties. I probably shouldn't have run off, but menacing figure that I couldn't exactly make out the face of is more of a dire circumstance than a man with a bit of back pain.
I will say, you do that. I'm gonna turn around, start walking down the alley, and I'm just gonna disappear as I misty step again. Because I don't want to put him in danger by him being seen by someone coming out of an alley with me. You
Yeah,
know,
understandable.
the guy in a black cloak. So I will disappear for his own sake, and then my homunculus will fly up on the roof and spot me from the air, and my steel defender will catch up. You know, they're working as a team to keep track of my super fast and stealthiness.
In
Um,
other terms, like you did see that there were dust spots, like dusty areas left of the friggin' cabinet that those crystals were held in. Do you want
yeah.
to use find object to see if you can find more of them?
I don't know if I have locate object. Um, Also, considering my meta knowledge of it, they're in a demi-plane.
Oh, that is true. Fair enough.
But I know my party was there, and I know where they're probably staying. So I had a plan on passing by here anyways. It depends on how much time you've got.
I'll give you another 30 minutes.
Ah, shit. I was gonna go swing by the Friendshade family, and I was going to make my presence known to the wife and see if she had anything she could tell me. If you want to fast forward through that section,
Yeah.
does she have any information that could be of use to me? I mostly ask her like, how's the like, have any strange happenings occurred since I've been gone? And obviously, I have my homunculus servant go in with a note and be like, meet me at X place in 10 minutes, and then I will appear there.
Well,
And
having
then
a massive orc, having massive orcs as part of your family, as well as two partially stab happy kobolds, is a good deterrent.
yeah, two big orcs that the party could totally fucking murder, and I'm acting as though the people that would come after them are a threat to us. So
Fair enough.
I'm being safe. You said, remember, CR fucking like whatever the fuck assassins all ganged up on the party. If they showed up in the night, they could murder the fuck out of the Friendshade family.
Fair enough.
So, does she provide any additional information?
Uh, well, she started noticing people acting. Well, people of the church is acting weirder than normal around her specifically.
Yeah.
But other than that, not really.
She goes to a church? What church? Mangai?
Probably, yeah.
Motherfuckers in my church!
Of
I know what
course.
I'm doing for the next couple days before the fucking thing. I'm gonna be mopping some fuckers up. I'm gonna start stalking bitches.
Actually, you're right. The people. Well, probably not from your own church, but.
You never know. Just because they believe in the god of magic don't mean they're extra good at sorting out what's what. If you say she notices some people from our church acting a bit sus,
Fair enough.
there are gonna be a couple of fucking bodies found in their own beds. It's in the next couple of weeks, just turning up in rivers.
I misspoke. She goes to the Church of Magic, but she hasn't really experienced any of them specifically acting weird.
All right. I mean, it's up
As
to you
far
if
as
you
you're
want to
aware.
retract that. I mean, fair enough. But mostly she's just keeping track. I'll just warn her to stay safe and Don't don't trust any members of the clergy. I have noticed that some of them are sus. That's the synopsis of that whole thing. I summed it up as quick as possible, for that conversation, just so that she's aware.
Yeah.
Does she take note of the fact that I'm super duper just like I'm sure she would recognize the fact that I am magically suppressing my identity. She would probably notice that.
Yeah, absolutely. You take care.
I'll pretty much say,
stranger.
don't worry about it, but Ranger.
Stranger.
Zero, stranger, right. I think he said Ranger. I'm like, what the fuck?
Why would I say Ranger?
I'll just nod and I'll walk off in a different direction. Also, I would have asked, is the party staying there? Obviously.
No, they're not.
Okay, I know the only other place they're gonna be.
We don't have any open rooms anymore.
Going to here comes the last deception check, the last use of my flash of genius. I'm gonna go to the
Guild Hall.
The guild hall. I am going to 1, disguise myself as another random individual, and then 2, use magic tinkering to make my guild card look like a official guild card, but with this new identity and a completely different name. So
seems legit.
Yeah, if I have to make a deception check, I will, and use my last use of flash of genius.
The guy standing at the door, he's like,
Is it so late at night that he's just like, I don't have time for this shit, and he's just like, he just takes a glance at it.
Yeah, go ahead. And then as you go in, he just walks off as it's like the end of his shift.
All right, I will make my way in. I will throw my hood back on. But I will stay with the disguise up, and I'm going to go in, and I will if someone at the counter is like, "Would you like to get a room?" I will just wave to them and be like, I've got one. Don't worry about it. And I will make my way in, and this is gonna be the tough part, is finding the nerds.
Yeah.
Specifically one nerd in particular. Oh god, I'm not the dog, so I can't sniff her out because she
Yes, but you
does
could
smell magic. I could detect magic and
or
hold on, detect magic lets you see through a foot
So
of
did
wood, and these doors
you-
are wood, correct?
yeah. Did you have detect object, find object or not?
Let me actually check.
Because you could technically use find object to find her spell book.
This is true. I could find the ring.
Or the ring. Either way.
Yeah. I think you have to actually be familiar with the object to use it. Or you need to search out like a generic. Like,
I mean, you are very familiar with her ring and probably her spell
that guy
book
made
too.
it. That's why I was gonna say that. I think detect object or locate object is a 2nd level spell. Yeah, I have to check 2nd level. Yeah, no, I don't have.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, no.
If you had if you had a long rest, then you could have it though, probably.
Maybe I don't actually have that spell at all. It's not an artificer spell, remember?
Oh, it isn't? Never mind then.
No, so I can't. But I can. The spell can
magic.
penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of metal, a thin sheet of lead, or a foot of wood or dirt. I'm pretty sure, 1, these walls are probably not a full foot thick, and even if they are, the doors aren't.
Yeah,
right?
these aren't Pimmons doors where they're impossibly thick.
Knowing that this is a guild that has adventurers and craftsmen and stuff staying in it, I know people have magic items. I will
Probably
cast
about an
detect
inch.
magic.
The doors are probably about an inch thick.
Yeah, I will cast detect magic. I will pull the hood over my eyes because them glowing green will give me away immediately.
Fair
But I will
enough.
pull it past over my eyes, but I can still detect through the cloth and the door, right? And I'm gonna go down the hallways, looking through the doors to find the auras of a magic spell book, a ring, and I would know what the auras of the ring is, and because I would have seen the aura of her spellbook before, because I've cast detect magic in her presence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the braces of defense. So I've made 2 of these. Is it much effort for me to find which room she's in?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Okay. My perception's dog shit. So
First room
how
you
late
check,
is
in
it?
fact.
How late is it?
Mm, I'd say probably 6 hours before sunrise.
Okay. I'm assuming. Do I hear anything? Even with my dog shit perception, do I hear anything?
Only
Should I roll a perception? I should roll a perception. That's persuasion. I persuade reality to tell me the truth. I would have rolled a fat fucking 3 if I actually used that roll.
uh
12.
you just hear her faint breathing from the other side of the door.
Okay, I couldn't hear breathing through a door, but I don't hear movement.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna look around.
You see a gold line. Well, actually, you haven't broken into the room yet.
No. I'm not going into
Yeah.
the room yet. I'm looking to see if someone's watching me. Also, using detect magic, I'm also looking for invisible sensors to see if they have fantasy security cameras.
They do not appear to have any of those things. They just hope that
Thank
the
God.
doors will be good enough.
Cool. I will now cast Pass Without Trace. Pass Without Trace does not prevent me from using Disguise Self, because Disguise Self is not concentration. So
Yep.
I am going to lockpick Daz door.
Yep. Thief's
I will give
tools,
you
check.
I will give you a. Why is Thieves Tools a query? Cancel. That should be strength. Well, not strength. Dex.
Well, I thought it was intelligence.
Lockpicking? No, it's
19?
thieves.
Yeah, that's
19.
good enough. You didn't
Yeah.
use your guidance. Well, not guidance, but
I'm not casting guidance
Artisan.
because that would break. That would. Artisan's intuition doesn't count for that.
Oh well, okay. Never mind then.
It's not an artisan. It's not an artisan's tool.
It's not
Expertise
that
works
hard of a
because it's a set
door
of
to
tools.
lockpick, honestly.
If
You
I fail,
probably
I'm a flash of genius.
you probably passed it by 1 point. For
Damn,
somebody,
that's a hard door.
yeah, for somebody with your caliber.
My phone ringed and I'm trying to find it.
Oh, I see.
Oh well. I was in the other room. I don't know where the fuck it went. I'll grab it later. If it rings again, I'll scramble to try and find it. All right. So,
As you creak open the door, you can see Carlia at the other side of the room, behind the door, with her back turned towards you and towards the wall.
so she's sleeping.
Yes. The slow, rhythmic, like, raising and falling of her
All right,
chest.
stop making it creepy. I'm not watching her sleep.
You're just making sure.
I'm just listening I'm listening to hear if her breath changes as though she's like waking up.
Yep.
So
Stealth check time.
Jesus.
You don't
Here's
ha-
where I'm gonna have to use the flash of genius.
Well, you already have your pass without trace thing active, so you don't have to roll very high to beat
Here
her.
comes the nat 1.
What was it?
Nat 20.
Wow,
So I have
33.
I really, really want a flash of genius that, but I'm not gonna.
Because you would be the last one.
Yeah, I'm holding on to that in case I need it later.
Bruh.
I'm assuming she didn't attempt to hide the bag, right?
No.
It's probably out in the open.
And I think Brad is the one that had the tape recorder, but I'm not sure.
Can I do the thing I wanted to do in the crypt?
You could.
Would it work?
Mm,
With a high enough arcana, would it work?
yes.
All right.
We'll say
This
beat a
is what that
25.
this is what that last +5 was for. And question, do I have to make that for each one I try to do this with, or is it just to establish whether or not it works?
Just
Like I get one
establish that it
shot.
works.
Okay. Here comes the nat 1. All right. Jesus. I have to roll a 9 or higher.
Yep.
Actually, no, because I have Artisan's Tuition, I get a +1 d4. Come on, D&D, don't fuck me.
Okay.
27, I don't even need the Flash of Genius.
Wow, you beat it by 2 points.
Would you like to make that a 7?
No.
Okay.
You beat it either way. Good job. I'm proud.
So how long does it take to, like, consume the knowledge of the recording?
Probably the 2 hours that, probably
I'm
a
just
good
standing
2
in
hours
her
of
room
stuff.
doing this for 2 fucking hours.
Obviously, with the door closed, you don't want people coming in and
Yeah,
seeing.
I am 3 feet from a sleeping person. Fucking with gems. But to be fair, I could just reach in and grab them with the all-purpose tool and pull them out. So they're not gonna clinkle clankle jingle jangle. So it's mostly just reaching my hand in the bag, pulling one out, magicking, then put it back in, pulling another one out, magic. You know what I'm saying?
So you get the knowledge that now you have the knowledge that all the rest of the players have. And
Also, I'm this entire time I have my hand up, ready to cast invisibility the second she starts waking up. Like if I get caught, I'm just because again, after the first 10 minutes, the pass of that trace is gone. But I'm mostly just sitting still in one spot at this point. Obviously, I don't have my half plate. I left that
yeah,
outside.
obviously.
Yeah.
And probably with probably thanks to your cracked intelligence, you probably glean a few more things, though I'm trying to figure out what they might be.
We can establish this next session. I can have an epiphany and then fuck off.
Yeah.
All right. I put the bag back the way it was, and then I step out, and then I lock the door behind me, and then I get spotted, and they call the guards.
You're passed without trace, and you rolled a nat 20 on your stealth roll.
I know, but that was literally 2 hours ago.
Fair enough.
Although it is technically 2 more hours later into the night.
Yeah. So, if anything,
Okay.
it's even darker than it was before. Like, in the Adventurers Guild.
So I sneak my way. No, I don't sneak my way. I walk boldly out, and then someone's like, I'm assuming that on the leaving direction, they don't give a shit,
Yeah.
right? So obviously, like they can't see my face anyways, and I walk my way out, grab my stuff, head out back into the field, probably get over the wall in the middle of the night. So this probably takes me like an extra hour, and I set up a cot in the woods again. So I trek my way back out to the woods, and I wake up to another pile of dead monkeys.
Let's see how many. I'll roll a d6. 2.
Ooh, nice. They're learning. And that is the end
Yep,
of
that's the end of the session.
the adventuring day. Next session, I will be staking out the choice, and I am going to interrogate a motherfucker.
Okay.
Be ready for that.
I am terrified to see what you do.
Oh, man's gonna get strung up. His day's gonna suck.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you to anyone who was still watching.
Hell yeah.
And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.